Hello there people, this is Bruce or nintenbruce here, back again to give you a helping hand with Yu-Gi-Oh! Millennium Duels Expert Mode. This time we're going up against Mako Tsunami and his Mermail Abyss deck. Now I will say straight away that even with your best deck, if you draw a duff hand, it's possible for him to one turn kill you, where there's nothing you can do about it. Best thing to do is just ignore those times and just concentrate on what you can do, and this is what this tutorial will help you out with. Now mermails in general, they are just a pain in the backside. They've got effects that can happen not only on the graveyard, not only on the field, but that can happen from the hand just by simply discarding water monsters. And on top of that discarding, certain other effects happen as well. So you got effects from the graveyard, the field, and the hand to worry about. Now, if it wasn't for all those effects, you'd actually not have too much of an issue with this deck. Yes, there's some heavy beat sticks from 2600 attack to 2800, but the rest aren't too much to worry about. There is Abysmegalo, which if he's out, he can attack twice at 2400 with a certain effect. But other than that, they all range from 1700 attack going downwards, so if you run a strong beatdown deck, you shouldn't have a problem with the normal summons that he does. Saying that, if you are worried about the special summoning, because he does do that a fair amount, you could run an anti-special summoning cards, or cards rather. So that could be your usual thing like Fossil Diner Pachycephalo, get rid of those special summoned monsters. There's also Thunder King Ryo, he's especially good against mermails, not only to stop the inherent special summon of XYZ monsters and certain synchro monsters, but he stops the mermails searching through the deck and adding to the hand, which is a beautiful thing, absolutely beautiful, and at 1900 attack you can't complain. Now, on that front of certain effects activating in the hand and the graveyard, the perfect trap card is Debunk. It really is. It's a counter trap card, and its effect is when an effect happens or activates in the hand or the graveyard from an effect monster, you negate that effect and banish the monster. It's brilliant, absolutely brilliant against mermails. It's a nice card to use anyway, but against mermails it's deadly. Now on that front you can also support that with Soul Drain. I know you can only run one, but just pay 1000 life points to stop certain effects that activate a chain happening in the graveyard, which is beautiful. And on the front of things happening from the hand, if you really wanted to, you could run Divine Wrath, if you must, but you shouldn't go too crazy with discarding your own hand, obviously. Now, in terms of his support cards, there's not too much to worry about. If you're going for an all-out attack, then you don't have any Mirror Force to worry about, no Bottomless Trap Hole. Basically, it's all to support his monsters. So yeah, feel free to attack whenever possible. It's brilliant, absolutely brilliant to run a beatdown deck against him. On that front, if you've got a sort of beatdown banish deck, that also works because there's so many effects again that are supposed to activate in the graveyard, or certain support which is reliant on the graveyard. Then yeah, just run those Banisher of the Radiance, that Dimensional Prisons, what are they called? Macrocosmos and Dimensional Fissure. They're brilliant if you're up for a remove from play deck. And on top of that, to stop those pesky special summons of high attack monsters, feel free to run things like your own Bottomless Trap Hole, Torrential Tribute, obviously Dark Hole, and Compulsory Evacuation Device. I know they're pretty standard in most decks, but make sure you've got them. And that way, if you're bouncing things back to his hand, he's going to have to constantly discard more cards from his, from his own hand again. So the more you can make him discard, the easier time you're going to have against mermails. Now you can run certain other decks against mermails, but the big things to watch out for are the effects. I mean, you could run Skill Drain, but it's not as effective as Soul Drain and Debunk that I feel anyway. And feel free, I've lost my speech now, see what mermails are doing to me. But feel free to run certain effect monsters which negate effects as well, or stop the opponent from doing silly things on the field or in the graveyard. So that's really it with Mermails. Like I say, no need to go through his support cards because they're all about supporting his own monsters. You can run a couple of mystical Space Typhoon, there's no harm in that. And if you run field spells, even better because he runs Lemuria, the Forgotten City. Yes, only one, but it's another thing to not worry about. On that front, you'll see that I'm running Gravekeepers here, and Necro Valley is especially handy. Stops the materials of Tidal making effect really, removing from play and stuff, and it boosts up your own Gravekeeper monsters, but that's just my preference. So there are probably other things that you can do here, and by all means pop your comments and thoughts in the section below about it, because Mermails are nasty and any help is appreciated as always with these sorts of things to help each other out. So until next time guys, you take care of yourselves and I will see you again soon.